Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Lynn. So, if I have to give a title for today's show, I was just sitting here reflecting on this. It will have to be to be, just be, just be, and own your power. Being is love, and that is what we are. We have to keep hearing words of truth being spoken. Yes, to be or not to be. We have to keep hearing words of truth being spoken over and over and over until it takes root within the mind. It's like telling a child, no, 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 you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, it's not right. Over and over and over, we have to keep hearing words of truth being spoken to us. Then it begins to grow and ripen. And that's why we have 365 lessons in A Course in Miracles. When you're reading slowly. You're allowing the words have to drop like pearls into your consciousness. Your consciousness is your world represents your thoughts. Your desire is to be in the real world. So just be and own your power. You are moving into the next stage of your development called light, love, wisdom. Love the child within. You're rising above the fog line of doubt and suffering and sacrifice and sickness and sadness and limitation and despair and lack, seeing yourself less than you truly are. You're allowing timelessness to take the place of time. You're transforming consciousness. You're entering into an undisturbed tranquility. Keep a clean and open mind. Be willing and obedient to the light. You want to preserve yourself in the light by relating only to the truth of what you are. And I know many times you've heard me say, that's all I wanted to know in my life. I want to know the truth. What am I? What am I on this planet to do? Today I live in freedom and joy. You are accepting the courage, the certainty, and trust that you have thrown away. The transformation of consciousness is the only thing worth doing, because in that transformation is your return to your natural environment. Live in light. Live in the awareness of what you are, and recognize your excellence. Recognize the importance of your function as the light of the world. You have a mighty purpose to fulfill. You and I are streams of consciousness born into this mundane, man-made world, very dense field of energy, world of cause and effect. And you have only one purpose in being here, to remember what you are, to express the glory of God, an inner state, to express the glory of God upon the earth by giving new life and nourishment to the world and everyone in it. To share light. Creation is sharing. So do not starve yourself of the nourishment you need to live by delaying your joy. Do not starve yourself of the nourishment of your daily bread of truth. Disengage from time and find solace in the silence of your soul. Life is not asking us to do the impossible. All we're being asked to do is to let the light in and to stop your interference of what will happen. The undoing is not your task. Your part is simply to face your dysfunction and transmute it through the power of love. There is no other way. And there's no cause and effect in love. Choose love, and all things will be healed. You're allowing your soul to steer you in the direction that you are to go. You cannot be anywhere except in the mind of God. And that God mind of joy is your natural state. Now, A Course in Miracles is a course in cause and effect that is cutting straight through to the core essence of what you are. Your part is simply to accept it or reject it. The choice is yours. Every second we're making a choice. You cannot live a choiceless life. So what do you want? Total freedom or total bondage? All we're being asked to do is to use the tool and see how it begins working for you instead of, instead of against you. In the little introductory booklet of A Course in Miracles, it tells us that this world we live in, this massive panorama of innumerable separate bodies, all moving through separate places and separate times, this world of suffering, lack, limitation, sacrifice, littleness, feeling depressed, deprived, this world of disease, old age, and death is an illusion. It is not reality at all, but only a dream. You have to wake up from the dream and remember what you are. Reality is a oneness which transcends distinctions, differences, and change. It's beyond time. And the goal of life is simply to wake up. And once awake, for heaven's sake, stay awake. It's so easy to fall back into the sleep. Through your diligent and devoted practice, you are remaining steadfast and committed. You're letting go of selfish attachments and awakening into unlimited bliss. Not limited, but unlimited. And some of the deepest and most penetrating insights into the human condition have come from the East, especially the religions of Hinduism and Buddhism. And we in the Western world are now learning the importance of their insight. For thousands of years, sages have sought liberation from suffering and direct contact with reality by ascending the heights of their own consciousness. And A Course in Miracles adopts an Eastern picture of this world and of true reality. So the purpose of the Course is the discovery of your true self. And the Course was sent to open the path of light to us and lead us step by step through the evolving process. And many of us do not recognize its value. And we treat it like we do so many things in our lives. We're casual about it. It's your life. And your life is a gift to the world. And your desire is to live the life you were created to live. We are the highest form of the animal kingdom. So that incessant urge, that animal instinct is there embedded within us to take, get, grab until we transcend it. You are the decider of your destiny and time. Whom do you want to serve? The mind cannot serve two masters. And there are only three things we need to do: simplify, purify, and make do with less. And in the lessness is the richness. You're training your mind to remember God. And you are God. So you're training your mind to remember the truth of what you are. We work so, well, not all of us, many of us, We work so hard at getting possessions, profit, prestige, the things we cannot take with us. We need to get out the getting concept. The only thing we can take with us, in fact, it's the only thing, are your thoughts. And this is why the mystics call the spiritual life the razor's edge, because it takes focused attention, concentration, awareness of what is going on within your mind, in the lab of your mind. And if your attention wanders, you're liable to cut yourself and end up in intensive care. We are working with 4 basic spiritual laws: intention, attraction, allowance, harmony, and balance. And the 4 pillars of strength to build your life on are air, earth, water, fire. Air equals thoughts. Truth without deception is integrity. You have integrity, good, firm, moral, and value. Earth equals feelings. Trust without doubt is honesty. And no one is going to honor anything in you that you do not honor first. Water equals emotions. Self-acceptance without fear is confidence. Emotion is energy in motion. And for most of us, it's not flowing in the right direction. And then there's fire, equals action, self-discipline without judgment is courage, bravery, to step out of the momentum of the things of time that keeps us bound and choose a different approach to life, one that is rewarding, fulfilling, purposeful, and offers peace. And to judge is to not know. A judgment is an unacceptable thought about someone or something. You are awakening to your hidden potentials. You want to sleep and awake with the truth before you always. Truth is your freedom, and your freedom is your fortune. And the season is now to celebrate the birthing of the new earth. You are awakening to your hidden potentials. The birthing of the new earth and the awakening of your true reality. And you're simply allowing yourself to be healed completely. Pain will disappear in the presence of love. The only real need in time is to awaken. You have to awaken to your true reality in order to fulfill your sacred obligations. So you have to invest in you. Who has God lacks nothing. There's a beautiful passage, and I know I've said it many times. There's a beautiful passage by Saint Teresa of Avila, who spent 20 years in doubt and struggle. Let nothing upset you. Let nothing frighten you. Everything is changing. God alone is changeless. Patience attains the goal. Who has God lacks nothing. God alone fills every need. And our awakening has to be gradual. It would be more than our nervous system can handle, too much light. It would be too traumatic because the mind is already in a frightened state. And consciousness does, Father, Mother, Creator, consciousness does not seek to throw us into panic. Be gentle with yourself and trust. You're releasing your attachments to the old and allowing the new to emerge, to come into your awareness. You're not alone. Trust and know life within you does. Trust and be humble. Humility is seeing with your inner eye. You're training your mind, your inner eye, to be like a lamp where the flame does not flicker. And it's now the moment for you to wake up in gentleness, trust, and love as you step into the light. And you are relating only to the formless light that is unchanging, unchangeable, changeless, the one self, the oneness of the mystic. And the mystic is one who is in direct communion with God. You are not relating to anything external that is forever changing. For nothing external is secure, and nothing physical ever lasts. The externals are not going to do it for us. And you really experience this connection in the beginning. This is why we have 365 lessons. And this is why we have to be so committed, devoted, and dedicated in your practice. And again, it's rare to too much light too fast would be too traumatic. It would be more than our nervous system can handle. It's very rare on this planet for someone to have an immediate awakening. We carry around so much baggage. And again, you really experience this connection in the beginning stages of your awakening or development or remembering. And this is why it's essential, it's critical that you practice daily. And whatever you find easiest for you, it's the best. Do not follow anyone's method or technique. With sustained effort, willingness, you begin to feel the connection. You are releasing all selfish desires that have been tormenting you and allowing them to be blown away into the wind, twisting and turning till they disappear. Your desire is to master your thoughts. You are the master. You are discovering the reality that is you in the depth of your mind. You feel confident, secure, and full of wisdom and light because you are connecting to the source that gave you life. And you're no longer allowing your mind to wander into darkened corridors. You know, we set up our own little haunted house and we invite ghosts. Be at home in the light. It's where you belong. You're safe forever and forever in the light. The belief in darkness is what prevents us from understanding the truth of what we are. Nothing external can affect the perfection of what you are, regardless of the form that it's in. The essence that is your true self, that invisible, that light force within will purify and dissolve all that is polluted. And no one can assimilate food for another. The responsibility is in your hands. You are experiencing a great deal of transformative energy because you're shifting worlds. It's a dying and a birthing, it's a purging, it's a cleansing from your system. You know, mentally, Mentally, we're seldom at rest. Just about everyone you meet is living in a state of fear, and it's not even living. Fear prevents us from hearing clearly, and fear is past and future. Love is now. We only thought, just an idea, we only thought that we lost our identity. Our identity is perfect, whole, and complete. We are composed of eternal light energy, and we're not talking gender. We are light. And what we are is not for words to speak of or describe. We are divine love energy. Yes, on the level of form we seem different. Form is different. But on the level of being, we're one. We are electric on one level. The electronic I am presence is electronic planes of light. We are light fields, reflecting mirror consciousness in this human man-made world of form. The light that belongs to you is the light of joy. Joy is your birthright. You know, an ant can become a human because that's collective consciousness. But a human cannot become an ant. The human has a divine blueprint. We raise our consciousness. Consciousness is God, conscious of itself, expressing in form. You are creator on an expanded level. But we have just forgotten. And this is why I often say, humanity has not fallen from grace. It has just fallen asleep. And we've been asleep for much too long. You are the breath of God. Intuition is the voice of the soul speaking to you. And most of the time we dismiss what we're here and substitute our own self-made words because of lack of trust. Because we have evolved to where we are now, we, man, human consciousness, we have dual parts. We are in a third dimension, a dense consciousness, and it's the only planet of duality. So in order for us to know the truth, we have to explore the higher realms. It's not that we cannot manifest on this planet. The degree of your manifestations is determined by the state of your consciousness. Your consciousness is your world represents your thoughts. So we have to raise our vibration. We have to be willing to be lifted up. We have to be willing to think differently, see differently, and live differently. And the choice is ours. We have evolved from the animal kingdom, and the most miraculous gift is the mind. And we're not using it. It's using us. And mind can be attached to lower mind instinct, that animal incessant urge within us, until you reach the end and begin to rise up, raise your vibration, and merge, align, connect with higher principles, code of conduct, become one, and then we become manifestors. And manifest means easily understood and recognized by the mind. So what do we have to do? We have to liberate ourselves from the clutches of a dense field of energy. We have to liberate ourselves from third dimensional slavery. How? By knowing the truth. By knowing the truth of what we are. And that's more than intellectual time concepts. Intellectual time concepts have not gotten us to where we ought to be. Intellectual time concepts, intellectual knowledge just drives us to know more. So there's this incessant urge to learn and want more. And it's an indulgence. All of our learning has not taken us to where we desire to be. And this is why the Course is teaching us. We're not concerned with superficial knowledge, but in bringing about a transformation in you that is in accordance with the truth of what you are. So you are moving from a lower level, third dimension, a world of man-made rules and ideas, going through thought, your heart chakras are opening up to a fifth or higher state of consciousness. And the world does not move. It's the mind. The mind is a process of thoughts flowing like a stream. So we have to combine spiritual ideals with modern educational methods. And education comes from the Latin word educare, meaning hidden within, what you draw out, which implies it's already there. So the mind must. So we have to empty the mind. We have to let go of all that we've made. And because we're in a time universe, it takes time. But through your practice, through your devotion, you're drawing out what is already there. And it was not put there by man. It was put there by God. And you are God. How much do we desire to change? The mind has to return to its natural state of childlike simplicity. And as the Course teaches us, simplicity is difficult for twisted minds. The mind has to be free of impurities. And again, this is why we have 365 lessons. A pure mind knows the truth. And that is where your strength lies. And this is why we've heard the expression, a little child will lead them. Because the mind has been purified and returned to its natural state of innocence. Childlike simplicity. Innocent. Uncorrupted. Uncontaminated. And when that merging takes place, you have an inner security. There's a sense of certainty, guidance, direction. You're being led, you're being carried along, and it cannot be broken, lost, or taken away. And then you can perform mighty works, not by the sweat of your brow, but by the intent of your consciousness. Right intention is right action. You're using your mind in the right way. You have integrity, good, firm morals and values. Because an intelligence far greater than you, than the personality self, takes over. We can call it providence. We can call it the light force. And this being, this intelligence, call it whatever we wish, is the Christ consciousness, the divine Christ child within each and every one of us, your true self, beyond the physical, beyond name and form. And words cannot explain this expanded state. It has to be experienced. You cannot give it as an experience to someone else. We are so possessed by illusions. And this merging, this connection, this remembering, all these words saying the same thing in different forms, this aligning of mind, this merging of mind, body, and soul is the spiritual essence of what we are. Love, light, life, life eternal, wisdom, beyond the physical. And this inner, this intuition is your true self, your soul. And there's only one soul. And the soul is your true self that dwells within the body. We waste so much of our God-given energy on idle pursuits, searching and looking outside of ourselves. We have to give ourselves space and room to explore the inner realms, to go within, be with you, appreciate you, honor you, delight in you, be the one you want to be with the most. So A Course in Miracles is a course in mind training. You're training the mind in a systematic way because it's been untrained. And the majority of people's minds are not trained. It's untrained. And an untrained mind can accomplish nothing, but a trained mind can. Otherwise, you just keep wandering in the streets of good and evil, confused and lost in a dense field of energy, a dense consciousness, a world of form. And the untrained mind has very little intuition or inner direction. And that confused perception blocks the knowledge, the wisdom, the knowledge of God. Blocks the awareness of your true self. Are we listening? Or do you hear and dismiss what you're hearing and substitute your own self-made ideas? We like to think our ideas better than God. And as the Course teaches us, our insane and distorted upside-down perception is ruining your peace of mind. Evil thoughts working havoc in the mind. And perception is a choice. You see what you want to see according to your thoughts. You are your thoughts. You think with thought, you see with thought. The system cannot make it. Turn to God. We end up depending on possessions and the external world for security and love. And the externals are not going to do it for us. We substitute things for the fulfillment we so earnestly desire. And only by living for something that is lofty, lasting, and real can we attain what we desire, the limitless capacity to love. Don't you want to leave your mark upon the earth to inspire and encourage others and show that there is a different approach to life other than the one we've taken? Now, we have to have challenges. Without challenges, how would we grow? If there were no difficulties, we would only be skimming on the surface, floating on the surface, wandering here, there, and everywhere, confused and lost in a dense field of energy. Perception is a choice, and we cannot live a choiceless life. You see what you see according to your thoughts. Yes, intellectual activity and pursuits are necessary, but we fail to cultivate higher ideals. Spiritual ideals combined with modern educational methods. That is true education. So we have to re-educate ourselves. Historical time concepts must be merged with our immaculate concepts. And concepts are ideas. Everything is an idea to which we give meaning of our own, according to our state of mind. Otherwise, we just become intellectual machines, disconnected from your true self, disconnected from the reality that is you, which causes such a struggle within us, which causes an imbalance, which causes discomfort. And the Course teaches us discomfort arises to bring the need for correction into awareness. And the correction can only take place where the error was made in the mind. It causes aggravation, agitation, fatigue. You feel exhausted. And then life becomes a burden. Worrying, planning, analyzing, investigating, assessing, trying to figure things out. All because of identification of a false self we have accepted as real. No one can force you. We have to be willing. And through all of the mishaps and the fatigue and the worrying and the planning and the analyzing and the investigating and assessing, now you're being forced. You're being forced to let go. Being forced to rest. Being forced to give yourself room, intervals, periods of quiet to be with you through the practice of meditation. Rest in your weary mind So you can harness the energy of a higher power, the power within you that wants to succeed through you. So you can hear your real thoughts, where you can release your burdens and toss them into the hands of the light force. The source that gave you life knows what to do with them. Guess what happens? They dissolve because they were nothing. They were something to you because you were holding on to them. So we have a choice. We can listen to the will of God, and God's will is thought, and to will is to desire, and transcend to a higher vibration, a higher frequency. Frequency means a vibrational state that emanates a particular level of understanding. And you begin to understand and accept that I'm not at peace. I want something more. So we can transcend or stay in survival mode. But why would you want to? Why would you want to keep inflicting pain and punishment on yourself? And those in survival mode have no time for anything anyway because they're too busy surviving. And so many of us right now, all of humanity, now we're being forced to choose again, to simplify, purify, and make do with less. Look to the source that gave you life. Become what you already are. Become aware of what you already are. A highly disciplined and cultivated individual. Working with high ideals so the energy flows through you without interruption. God does nothing to you or for you but through you. So you are directed where to go, what to do, whom to speak to, and what to say. The separated self, the false self, the self-centered, selfish will person only thinks of himself. They are very insensitive to others because their only focus is on their own selfish desires. Me, mine, mo, take, get, grab. Too busy chasing rainbows. Any soul who has transcended the lower vibration will tell you only love operates on the higher realms. And as the Course teaches us, God did not create this sorry world. This mad direction was your choice. And sorrow is inaccurate perception. And life is not asking us to do the impossible. All we're being asked to do is to let the light in. And life is not asking that you have no thoughts that are not pure. Just none that you would keep. Let them go. Your responsibility is to the light. And you are responsible for how you see the world. And the world represents your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality. And reality does not change. It's you who change your thoughts about the world. Image is thought. Imagination is the mind of God. And without it, we become followers. With imagination, you become a leader. You're leading the way. You're showing others. This is the way. So that genius power within you, you're flowing in the right direction. And the Course teaches us ideas leave not their source. And God is the primary source of all. God is not secondary, primary. And you co-create and are held responsible. Thought, word, action. You want your life to become like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly, symbolizing freedom. You want to become a leader, not a follower. Be the way shower, showing others that there is a different approach to life. One that is rewarding, fulfilling, purposeful, and offers peace. And it's not man-made. It's a different reality. Can we develop a sense of trust? Trust in the creative action of life? Trust in something you cannot see with physical eyes, but you have a sense that there's something there within? When you go to a restaurant and you order a meal, you follow the waiter into the kitchen to see if it's going to come to you as you prepared it? No. The trusting is going to come to you exactly the way you ordered it. We are capable of flying high in the sky of love, capable of reaching up, exploring, expanding. Success is the expansion of consciousness. It's about what you are. It's about you. expand into a higher state than you ever dreamed possible, than you ever suspected. God does not wish, God wills. And God's will for us is everything we already have. And no one can give you what you already have. So it's about knowing the truth of what you are and what you're here to do, and just doing it. Without challenges, how would we grow? If there were no difficulties, we would only be skimming on the surface, floating on the surface. And that's where most are. The challenges are forcing us to go beyond, to go deeper into the mind. And we have a profound tool that's been given to us to use. So you can come to a greater awareness of your capacities to love, to be. We have to transform consciousness. And transformation of consciousness is the only thing worth doing. And you do so through your willingness to practice. One thought at a time. The mind is used to having its own way all the time. Being. Just be. Can we just be? Being is love. And making money, power, profit, pleasure just keeps us floating on the surface. Our divine nature is untouched by anything external. We want to turn suspicion into trust, become rich in the richness of God, return ill will for goodwill, hatred for love. Let go of what you have made and glimpse the unity of life. We are capable. We are capable of reaching the height of our original goodness. And goodness is not contaminated. We are all capable. You are expanding to a higher state than you ever dreamed possible. All you thought you knew was never true. What gain is there in clinging to it? We've been badly taught. All of our learning is an indulgence. We have to unlearn, undo in order to remember. And to remember is to restore to your memory what is already there, that we rejected. And the Course is teaching us we're not concerned with superficial knowledge, but in bringing about a transformation in you that is in accordance with the truth of what you are. What am I? I am love, light, and wisdom, eternally. And wisdom includes all knowledge, universal mind. God is wisdom, and this wisdom is encoded within each of us. We all came in encoded. When we become one with this wisdom principle, you then become a superhuman being, because this wisdom principle produces all things. Your true self wisdom is in charge, and all obstacles removed, all crisis, obstacles, pain, suffering, poverty consciousness, lack, littleness, limitation, survival are all surmounted. You have transcended the law of vibration and now reside, living in the essence, awareness, and recognition of the reality that is you, your true self. Know thyself. Seek ye first, and all else will be added. How should one seek? By turning your senses inward. And again, we have a tool given to us to use. How should one seek? What is the best method? In the Eastern teachings, it's silence. The whole purpose of A Course in Miracles is to bring the mind to silence. In the Western teachings, it's pray without ceasing. Both methods work and bring the same results. A Course in Miracles tells us you keep searching for it in different forms, and that prevents you from reaching it. The only power which can transmute or transform, transfigure the subconscious is the recognition that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And for that you needed a body in order to represent, in order to bring heaven to earth. Spiritual beings. Just be, not human beings. You are timeless, eternal, immortal, inhabiting a physical body. And it's this power within that can do all things through you. Having the power and faith to heal, trust, and do mighty works. Because it's the Christ within, the Father within doeth the work, directing your efforts, making straight your way, and all obstacles removed before you reach them, not making mistakes. We are not here by some cosmic fluke. You chose to be here at this moment in time to participate in the shift. Love the child within you. Explore the higher realms. You will be shown which road leads to darkness and which to light. It's part of our process to separate the wheat of truth from the chaff of deception. We have to clean up our karma. Karma is self-centered, selfish attachments. It's weakness. It's fear. You want to be detached. Positive karma is selfless attachment, inner strength, power, love, and you are equipped. The equipment is an open heart and an open mind, willingness to trust. We all wept. We've all been scarred and wounded, and you wept because you did not understand. And now your sight is being restored, and you can see differently. You think with thought, you see with thought. You're sweeping away the cobwebs of ignorance, that animal instinct within us, that incessant urge to get something. Your ultimate destination is your natural home of light. So there's no need to be drifting aimlessly along like a log in a world of illusions, subject to man-made rules and ideas. Choose the avenue of light and walk to the city of light, shedding the traces of uncertainty and doubt, walking in faith and trust. Because so many of us, our eyes are shut so tight against the light. The external world has us mesmerized and in grips. Appearances deceive because they are appearances and not reality. Dwell not on them in any form. Choose the avenue of light as you walk to the city of light. Knowing the truth is your freedom. Thank you for this hour of sharing. I will be here.